Yo, what's good, everyone?
What's
It's
up?
good. It's good.
Got Ed Talenti in the building today.
Yo, yo, yo. What's up, guys?
How you doing,
Yep.
Ed?
I'm good. I'm
Good to
good.
see
Thank
ya.
you for inviting me to this.
Of course, anytime, man.
Yeah.
How have you all been?
I'm good, man. Everything's great.
Yeah. All good, man.
I know
All good.
you're a dad now, right? How's
Yeah.
dad life treating you?
It's really fun, dude. 10 months already, so the kid is like standing up, starting to like trying to talk and stuff.
Wow.
It's just so fun. It's more fun than I thought it was. The beginning was like harder than I thought it was gonna be, but now it's like
Yeah.
really fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Whenever I see people with kids, like both my brothers have kids, I just think life just seems, it looks so tough, like it looks so challenging. But
Little
then when
bit.
you speak to them, they all say it's the best thing ever. So I'm always intrigued by it. I'm always like, I wonder what life would be like that.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things I bet you can't even fully prepare for it. You just deal with stuff as it comes, like as it happens.
Yeah.
Like you can
I-
read books or whatever, but until you have those real life
Yeah.
experiences, you don't truly know what's going to happen.
Yeah, we read like everything we could, took like the classes and stuff. At the end of the day, when you got a baby screaming in your hands and it's just like, I don't know what to do. Like, I've never done this before.
Yeah.
You know, like, how do I help
Yeah.
him? So it's like,
You don't like turn to page 20 in the manual and
yeah,
figure out
exactly.
what to do.
Yeah.
He's screaming. He's screaming
That's-
right now.
that's
So
ChatGPT.
I want to sleep. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Help.
No, it's a
Yeah.
blast, though.
So have you
It's a
got a
blast.
mini keyboard for him yet?
Actually, yes. We got a little mini drum
Nice,
set
man.
at home, like mini key, all the like toy instruments. Those are the only toys
Sick.
that I want to get. Yeah.
Oh man.
Got to start
That's
them
sick.
early, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
Have
exactly.
to, yeah.
He's not interested yet. He's just like other things. But yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
How
Yeah.
about you boys? Are you boys ready for it yet?
Oh,
For
man.
I don't
what,
think
kids?
so.
Social and LB.
Not just yet.
Yeah, for kids.
Not yet. My
Ed
mum
and
was
Jack
putting me under pressure
inspired you.
yesterday.
I wish
But
you.
I'm not ready. She's always putting me under pressure.
Oh,
Yesterday, I was like, oh no, I think I need like another 10 years. She's like, no, not 10 years. I need grandkids like soon. I'm like, not yet. Give me a while.
Yeah. There's too many more countries to go
Yeah,
see.
luckily I'm not getting that type of pressure yet.
You
Yeah.
guys don't want kids,
Both
or,
my-
or you just want to wait? Like
I
Jade.
want a
I don't
lot
know,
of kids,
in my
but
head,
I just want to
I'm
wait.
like,
Okay.
yeah, you want a full football team, you, Ocean, don't you?
Yeah, like 5 to 8. That'd be
Damn.
ideal.
Okay. Good luck, dude.
That
That's
is a
hard.
lot.
Yeah, no, I
struggling
think
with
two,
one.
two max.
What about you,
three,
Ed? Are
I
you
don't
thinking
know.
about having some more?
We're thinking about a second one, but
Mhm.
in a little bit, because it's, I don't know, that first, like, it's really hard. So some parts are gonna be easier, I guess, with the second one, because you already know you're not gonna panic as much. But at the same
Yeah.
time, it's like, it's a lot of work, dude. Like, it's a ton of work to have a kid around.
Mhm.
So it's like, if I double that, that's a lot. But we do want another one. Then that's probably it.
Yeah.
That's probably good enough.
How do you manage
How's-
to balance everything at the moment?
Yeah.
Like with work and being a parent? Like what's
I-
your schedule looking like now?
I mean, the beginning. I was talking to Kyle about this the other day because he just became a dad too. And the very beginning. Hold on, I think I cut out. Somebody
Cough.
cut out. Can you guys still hear me? I lost you for a second.
No, I
Yeah,
can't.
you
yeah,
cut out for a
yeah.
second, but you're back.
Okay. I was gonna say I was talking to Kyle about this like just a few days ago because he just became a dad too. In the beginning, the first like 2 months, I disappeared. Like I didn't even come to the studio. I was just in the house, just helping. So I just stopped everything.
Yeah.
And then slowly I started like kind of getting the balance back together. And now it's kind of fine. The beginning is super tough because he needs you like 24/7. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet that's challenging.
But
For
Yeah.
sure. I couldn't imagine. Because I'm just so used to my routine of just kind of getting up. Like if I'm tired one morning, I can just be like, you know what? Let me just sleep an extra hour and I'll just work an extra hour. But I bet there's none of that.
There's none of that.
But it's
No,
just
it's
like
That's
it's
tough.
not
like-
an option anymore.
Yeah, if you get to sleep during the night, which we're pretty lucky, he does sleep at night for the most part, so that's good. But if you get to sleep, it's like still 6:30. There's a baby and he needs stuff like to be changed and like just his routine. Like you can't Yeah.
I think it might have cut again.
At 6:30, it's just you got a kid screaming that wants like milk and like needs to be changed, so you can't like not do that. You have to like wake up and do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 It's kind of mad. I remember like when my dad like had kids when I was like in my late teens, and I'd go around and like help him look after her as well. And it is like they need full attention all the time, like, right in the beginning, because even when you're holding them, like they'll just randomly just like throw themselves back, and then you're like, oh fucking hell, crap. So yeah, you can't leave them alone for more than like 30 seconds. It's crazy.
Not even that, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
it's
even
like
that,
constant
yeah.
attention. And obviously, like I'm not like alone. Like I have my wife, and like sometimes it's like grandparents and stuff. But still, though, like when you're around, that's what you do.
Yeah.
And
All
then
in.
you know, coming to work, it's almost like I don't know. You just kind of space out. It's like that's the rest time from like that, because it's
Yeah.
really a lot of work to like keep up with it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun though. That's it.
Do you find
that's the gist
Jack
of
was
it.
saying that when he had a kid, it made him like, when he was working, it made him like focus even more. Like it made him way more productive in those like working hours. Is that had been like a similar thing for you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in the last 3 months, I started a digital marketing agency with like another part. I started a whole new thing on the side.
Oh, no way.
So yeah,
Oh,
it did
wow.
make me more productive. Yeah.
Incredible.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's just like, dude,
So-
well, I don't post as many videos. Like, I would like to post more. Like, I don't know. I feel like I could do more. But at the same time, I don't know. I find a good balance. So I'm happy with that. But yeah, it does put that like extra fire of like, you know, I was cool. Like, if I had to like go back to sleeping on the floor or something like I did like a few years, I didn't care. I don't care about anything. I don't care
Yeah.
about like fancy stuff or anything. But now that I have a kid, it's like, no. Now I do care about fancy. Like I need him to have the best of everything, and so
Yeah.
I gotta like really grind.
Like I said,
for-
like it unlocks a whole new motivation.
yeah,
Mm. Yeah,
beyond
you got another
just
human
experience.
to provide for.
yeah,
I guess it could go one of two ways as well, because some people can get really motivated by it and be like, right, I need to work extra hard now to provide. But then some people might be like, you know what, maybe work's not as important as I thought it was, and I just want to spend as much time as possible with my kids. So I'm gonna take my foot off the gas. So I
It's a
think
bit of
maybe it
both.
could go one of two ways.
Yeah.
Is it?
I feel both of those things at the same time. So yeah, I think that's where like time management really kind of like steps. Like before, it didn't really matter that much because I had so many hours to do everything.
Yeah.
Now it's like no, like I need to like really step up the time management because I got to make every second count because I can't wait to go home and spend time with it.
Mm.
So it's
Yeah.
like I don't
So
want.
what do you do for time management? Like, have you got a calendar that you stick to? Do you have like certain hacks that you stick to?
Yeah, I started like I started I think they call it time blocking. So basically,
Yeah.
Mm.
every single minute of the day, it's kind of like on the calendar for the most part.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything is on the calendar, like hour by hour. I stick to it no matter what. Like even if I don't finish a task, like let's say I had like script a video, and it's like
Mhm.
an hour and a half, I haven't finished. I still stop and do the next thing and go back to it whenever I reschedule it. Like I just kind of reschedule it, like it was all like a bunch of calls. I treat it like that.
Right.
Even if it's tasks that I have to do. And it's actually been great because I didn't realize how much time I wasted in between tasks, quote unquote wasted. But like you get a notification, you got an Instagram, and it's like you lost 20 minutes. And then go on
Yeah.
YouTube, and I'm like, let me research some like video ideas. But I end up watching something that has nothing to do with it, just looked interesting, and all of a sudden I
Yeah.
wasted another half hour. So that really helped me like not do that because I have time like everything is like so set and I have to do that. So it's it definitely helps. Not easy though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
I
guys
only
do
just started
anything
doing
like-
that this year as
Oh,
well,
there you
or not even at the beginning of the year, but maybe a few months ago. I actually just like did something similar where I started a calendar and put all the blocks in. I wouldn't say I'm as strict with it as you, because if I'm like still working on a task, I will let it carry through into the next one, and then I'll try and rearrange that next task. But it definitely helps you to keep focused, because if you've got the calendar on your phone as well, sometimes you're like, right, what am I supposed to be doing? And you just look at your phone and it says making loops or working
Yeah.
on a script or whatever it is, and you can be like, right, let me get back into it. So it definitely helps with that. Whereas before I was like, I don't know, just kind of like scatterbrain, doing what you said, like maybe checking some emails and going on Instagram. Before you know it, you've wasted 2 hours and not really done anything that you needed to do.
Yeah, definitely.
And so
Yeah.
you said you started a digital marketing agency as well on the side.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It's going pretty well. It's the really fun part where you kind of like it's starting to pick up. It's like all the work we put in for like months. It's me and another partner. Um, all the work we put in, it's like starting to like kick in. So you start getting, your first client. Like you actually start working rather than planning to work,
Yeah.
and building everything. But it's basically like it's a completely different thing. It's like here in Italy, we don't have like businesses are very like behind on like anything digital. Like they don't even have a website, or if they do, it looks like it was made 20 years ago, and it doesn't do anything. Like you can't book an appointment online. You can't there's nothing you can do. And so we target like local businesses and like basically digitalize their shit or whatever. I don't know what the word is,
Right.
but like
Yeah.
yeah, we build a website that actually makes sense, and it's not just pretty to look at, but like you can book appointments, you can pay, buy services depending on what kind of activity it is. Like right now we're doing like dentists, for example, like dental offices and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different. It's fun though. It's like a lot of the stuff that I learned doing YouTube and stuff like that. So like, or not so much YouTube, but more to like the e-commerce side and like Facebook ads and like all this stuff that I've learned that I don't even use anymore really for me. Now I get to use it on something.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. What made you decide to move back to Italy from being in you were in Amsterdam before, right?
Right. Just family, because we were about to have our kid, and so it was like Amsterdam was
Right.
me, my wife, and 2 bikes. Like, because we don't even have
Yeah.
like cars. Like cars are not really a thing out there, especially in the center where we lived.
Yeah.
So it was like, are we really gonna do this? Me, you, and a bicycle? It's like that sounds, we can do it, but
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah, of course.
So we're like, let's go back at least for the beginning. I don't know. We might actually end up moving back one day. I don't know. It's kind of in our plans because we really loved it out there, way more than
Yeah.
here. But here we have family, so there's like grandparents and like uncles and like mostly my family or all of my family. And so being here just with a newborn really helps because you can for an afternoon. It's like, can you help us?
Yeah.
You
Yeah, you got more of a foundation over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
need a ride somewhere, like whatever you need, there's like people there. It was literally just the 2 of us. So with a
Yeah,
kid,
that makes sense.
sounded tough. Yeah.
Where you are in Italy, is it quite remote? Like I'm not
Very.
sure what area you're from in Italy.
Yeah, I'm the sort of the town is Bologna, but I'm way out of it, like 20 minutes away
Right.
from the center. So it's like I'm in the countryside. I'm
Right.
It's where I was born. It's where I mean, when I used to do like the more like vloggy type videos, it's like all the drone shots of like nothing and like
Nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I
just
remember it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
place.
Because you do
So-
like the drum pad videos in the backyard, wouldn't you? It looks
Yeah.
like it was your backyard, but it
Yeah.
looked like a vineyard or something.
right.
Yeah,
It-
look really
Yeah.
green.
everything here kind of looks like that. It's just like fields of stuff.
Yeah.
I hear
So
that.
that's the play. That's where
Must
I am
be
right
a-
now.
Must be a very, very different vibe from being in the center of Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I like the center of Amsterdam because it was like, I don't know, it still felt small. Like when I used to live in LA, because I did LA and then back here and then Amsterdam and then back here. So LA was really crazy. Amsterdam felt more, even though it had everything like a big city, like just services and like people and all the activities and whatever. But it also felt kind of like more, I don't know, intimate, like small. Like it kind of felt like a small town, even though it
Yeah.
really isn't. Because of the
Yeah.
bikes, I don't know why, but it just has this vibe of like kind of small town. And
Yeah, I
I
know what you
really
mean.
like that. I don't know if you guys felt that when you came out there, but
Definitely. The center
Yeah.
of Amsterdam actually doesn't feel that big. It seems like you could walk from the one side of the center to the other side quite quickly.
Yeah. It feels way less like corporation kind of vibes like you get from most cities like London or Manchester and LA, places like that. It just seems very like it's kept all the culture.
yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's a bit more relaxed, and I wonder why.
I wonder why. Yeah. But yeah, how's YouTube stuff going for you, man? Are you still cracking out stuff like that, or what's the motivation been like recently?
Yeah, I mean, I just the same that it's kind of been. There's just like growing the channel, trying to do things that people are not doing as much as I can, like idea wise. Really approaching it like a YouTuber rather than a producer. It's just
Yeah.
It's just I'm a YouTuber that happens to make music, rather than it used to be, which was the other way around, which was like
Mm.
YouTube was just a part of my producing thing. But um, yeah, what I've been really trying to do is like expand out of like, because I don't come from like necessarily like making beats. Like I
Yeah.
have a more like just music back. I went to like music school and stuff like that. So it's like I come from jazz, rock, like all kinds of different genres. And I've been trying to like zoom out, and I'm like, can I turn this channel from like just like trap beats, which is what I used to do for like a while, to like music.
Yeah.
And it's not
Yeah.
easy because the
Mhm.
audience is a bit different sometimes.
Yeah.
But I've been trying different concepts and ideas to try and do that and zoom out a little bit.
Mhm.
Just give myself more freedom to sort of do whatever I want with music.
You've
Um,
definitely done a good job at that
Yeah,
though.
definitely.
Because like a lot of channels, like even myself, they'll be more like tutorial based, and it's just like seems to be mostly about music. But you've done a good job of making it more entertaining and available for anyone to watch. Really, like I bet a lot of your viewers might not even make music; they just like watching your videos because they're entertaining. And then,
Yeah.
like you said, music just happens to be a part of it.
yeah, I think so too. But there's something like about having like what you do, Jay, with like the tutorials and stuff like that, that makes it a way better business at the end of the day. Because
Yeah.
it's just easier. Like you know who your people are, and so it's like
Yeah,
you know. For me, even like making a product, it's so hard, or like anything like that, because
Yeah.
it's like I don't know. It's like, does a sample pack really make sense with like the entertaining stuff that I do now? Not really.
Yeah.
It can work with like some people, but it's like that's not. It's just tougher. I feel like for a tutorial channel, it's easier to like know exactly what to do.
definitely
Yeah.
agree. I think that's why I never shifted fully. Because I've thought about that before. I thought about, right, should I maybe focus on getting like a broader audience to really grow the channel? But then I think we've had those discussions before where it's been like, okay, but if I do that, then it would probably affect the business a bit more, because then, like you said, you don't really know who your actual audience is, and are you going to sell
Yeah.
sample packs the same? But I'm guessing that's why you've set up the other business, so you can still focus on YouTube, but then I don't know, at least you can like really define an audience with the marketing agency,
What you're talking about? Are you talking about like RIP speakers or like the marketing agency? Because
the marketing agency.
Yeah, I
Because you
mean,
were focusing on RIP speakers for a while, right? But is that why you're kind of making the shift?
yeah, I mean, RIP speakers, I'm not really investing in it that much. It's still there and stuff like that, but I don't know. I'm not as passionate about that as I used to be, and so it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still trying to find a good product that makes sense for my audience, like a good something else. That's
So
gonna
what
be
have
the
you
next step.
what have you thought could be the right product so far?
I don't know. Like,
'Cause-
I have a couple ideas, but like, I don't know. I haven't quite.
Or what have you tried so far?
Well, to be honest with you, nothing. It's just all in here. But I tried. There is something that I'm going to launch at some point, in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Which is like community-based academy. It's kind of a little bit different. I haven't seen anybody doing it really in our space. I've seen it in other spaces, and I'm gonna try it because it's very much about. It just lines up more with the values of the channel right now, which is learning while having fun, and like I ran a survey with like my audience or a couple. What you said earlier, to kind of understand who they are and why they watch my stuff, and like why are they even interested. And my people now, which is great because it's more similar to what I do, but they're not like chasing placements. They don't care. They don't even care really about making money from music. They have fun, so they're interested
Yeah.
in like trying a new genre, or like going out of their comfort zone, or like trying different things or challenges that like really put them like on the spot. So
Mhm.
I guess that makes sense because that's the videos that I've been doing. But it's
Yeah.
like, yeah. So they really don't care about, making beats fast, selling them, getting placements, all those kind of things that used to be like part of like my brand a lot. They don't
Mhm.
really resonate with that. So yeah, try that.
That
It's
makes
interesting.
sense. I
Yeah.
feel like over the last few years, the music production space, especially for like hip hop and trap, has very, very much changed. It went from all of us doing like tutorials to then kind of, especially like you and doing more vloggy kind of stuff and doing more lifestyle, to now where we kind of realized actually, like you were saying before, maybe we're actually just YouTubers doing music. and then now the content, in order to grow there, the content has to be a little bit more broad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that what the shift has been, because I don't know about you guys, but from the beginning, I never pictured that it would end up in the
No.
space that it is today.
Nah,
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Just felt
not at
like it
all.
was like a cemented genre of like tutorials, just camera, screen recording, cooking up. No like vloggy stuff. Like, yeah, I never really anticipated the big challenges that you was doing like a year ago, Ocean, and like some of the trips you've been doing to Jay, and obviously all the stuff you're doing, Ed. Like, it's all completely changed. Like, yeah, if you scroll back 5 years and look at all our old videos,
Completely
completely,
different.
yeah, exactly, complete U-turn.
Yeah, what have you noticed that's changed over the years, Ed? Because you used to do some tutorials and you used to do a lot more like vloggy style stuff as well, especially in the intro. Like you'd get up, you'd film like making a coffee, being outside. So what have you noticed change over the years, and how have you had to adapt to those changes on YouTube specifically?
I mean, I remember even back then. I used to like think like music production specifically can be so much bigger than it is, because to me it's kind of like gaming. It's never going to be as big as gaming, but I thought like this can be a lot bigger, because at the end of the day it's really easy to get into. To get good it's not easy, but to get into, like, you need free software, a laptop, and it can be old because it's just audio. You don't need like a super fancy mega fast laptop. There's a bunch of free software for you to like get into it, and even like getting started and getting something like kind of good, it's pretty easy. You can just click around a little bit and you can get something going. So because the barrier of entry is so low, I was like, this can be kind of like gaming. It's like anyone can get into this if they have fun. And even the content, like I thought about it like gaming a lot, because I'm like, gaming at its core, it's a guy sitting in front of a screen clicking buttons. That's boring. But it's like one of the biggest like categories ever on YouTube or on social media. And I'm like, music is kind of the same thing, music production, because it's like me sitting at my laptop clicking around, sometimes clicking this thing, but I'm still not doing anything that exciting. And so I was like,
Mhm.
how can we take that gaming sort of energy that they bring into like clicking and bring it to like
Yeah.
music, which is still clicking at the end of the day. So I remember thinking about it like that. And then it's just been like a process of like defining, like understanding what that means over time. So there used to be like the vlog stuff, and then I was like, wait, but this doesn't, it's cool, but it doesn't make any sense. Like if the video is like the one I just posted, I learned how to make a piano in 24 hours. What is me doing coffee? Like it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
It's like it's a
Yeah.
different thing. And so to me it just became about like storyline. And the coffee shots just became like, I don't know, if you're watching like a movie and there's like 20 minutes of something that has nothing to do with the plot. It's like the guy grocery shopping and has no connection to the plot whatsoever. And it's like, why do you, what that doesn't make any sense. Nobody does that. Like that doesn't, if you watch like TV shows or like reality, like any kind of like media, there's never like a long period of time at the beginning or even in the middle where they're doing something completely unrelated, like that literally doesn't come back to the story. It just makes no sense. It just felt so like just divided. It just didn't add anything to the story. And so eventually I started like shaving off all that stuff, and it turned into kind of what it is now, and hopefully it's going to keep getting better. But that's kind of how I viewed it. But at the same time, like what we were talking about earlier with like more tutorial channel, I feel like there's two ways to like do YouTube now. It's like you can be, because I've talked to people that have very niche channels, not even in music, that make so much money. They have like way bigger businesses that I could ever dream of, like so much bigger.
Yeah.
Because they like, I don't know, they have a channel does like consulting for WordPress, like something so specific and so boring.
Yeah.
And they don't have big numbers. Like the videos get like 1,000 views, but they sell $5,000 consultations. So if they sell 3 out of 1,000 people, they already made a ton of money.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, I feel like there's just two different sort of. It's the same thing. One, you're like chasing numbers and trying to be a YouTuber, so you make money from brands, you make money from views, you make money from all that. And the other one is like, you don't really care about the views, but you know exactly where your audience is, and you really like focus in on that and make products and stuff like that. So that's how I've seen it change, like with YouTube. And before it was more just like, here's my life, watch me live my life, and that doesn't really work anymore, I feel like.
Did you start noticing the views changing? You know, when you stopped doing the vloggy stuff, like were you checking the analytics and seeing that maybe people were just skipping those intros anyway, and then you
Yeah.
switched it up, and then the retention improved?
Yeah, I mean, I've been pretty for like 2 years now. I've been pretty obsessed with the analytics.
Yeah,
So looking at the retention graphs and cutting out things that I was saying or things that I was doing that I was just keeping in, that people, you just see people leave, and it's like, well, I'm not gonna do that anymore, and just
yeah,
it's just constantly shaving off those things until you get to like you start understanding like what people actually want to see, because that's the difference too. It's like people, it's a weird concept, but I feel like people think they know what they want to see, but then they don't watch it.
Yeah.
So because I still get comments like, "Oh, we miss your coffee montage or whatever," but then if I put it in, you leave.
They leave.
So
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
see the coffee montage. So,
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of like looking at what people are actually doing rather than just feedback is important, but sometimes I don't know. There's like a disconnect there. I don't know if you guys felt that too sometimes.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
When
Yeah.
you ask what kind of videos do you want to see next, then you make a video on the subject that they want to see next.
Bro,
For me, that's been the videos
The
that have
worst.
probably done the worst, honestly.
Yeah,
I've literally just done that. I posted the other day saying, what videos do you guys like to see? Someone said, oh, I miss those like silent cook up videos, like the show up and cook up ones. I was like, all right, I'll do one of them this weekend. Made a nice edit, everything, put it out. 10 out of 10 straight away. Didn't move off. Didn't move from 10 out of 10. Terrible.
That's
think
interesting.
sometimes-
I wonder why.
I think sometimes though, as like creators, you kind of have to, not all the time, you don't always have to reinvent the wheel or anything like that, but sometimes you just have to push the boat out a little bit and give them what they don't even know what they want yet. Like it just hasn't been
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they'll eventually come around to it.
because even with analytics as well, it can be kind of tricky because I've done things in the past where I've gone through all my analytics and I've kind of wrote down all the times that people tend to skip my video, and I found the patterns and I've been like, okay, let me start removing those, and then it meant that my videos got shorter. So I thought, okay, this will increase retention. I'm getting rid of the parts that people aren't watching anyway. But then what happened is because the videos were shorter, the average watch time decreased. So then it still sent my videos to like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. And then as soon as I put them back up and included those parts, even though a lot of people were skipping them, it still increased the average watch time. So then they were going back up to like 2 out of 10, 3 out of 10. So I was like, man, like, I really don't know what to do because the analytics are telling me to remove that. That's not working. People are asking for this content. That doesn't work. So it's really
Yeah.
hard to figure out like who to listen to, like analytics, audience, or yourself. You know what I mean?
So let me ask you guys this. What do you think is the most important thing when it comes to making a good YouTube video?
Just the topic, I think, just the initial idea. I think it has to be an intriguing idea to begin with, because you can do like you can not necessarily butcher the execution, but you can do 50% execution on a really good idea and it still do well, as opposed to a really like average idea and just like knocking out of the park with the edit, crazy video. But yeah, it's just not clickable. Like people just don't want to see it. So that's probably what I'd say.
I would agree
Yeah, I
with
think
that.
you're probably right.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
the idea is
Yeah.
key.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's like people like there's so much content being thrown at them, and so thumbnail and title, which is the idea, especially if you package it right, it's like it's everything. Because if you miss that, then it's no one's even gonna see it, no matter how cool it is.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with that. The idea is everything. Plus, if an idea is interesting, it's just so easy to put together the video because then it's like you don't
so
have
obvious,
to like
yeah.
you know exactly
Yeah.
what to do like right from the beginning. You know what the thumbnail is already. You just get it because it's just a good idea. I find that it's interesting, but like the videos that end up doing the worst are the ones that where the thumbnail takes me the longest time. Like when I'm
Yeah.
like looking at it and I'm like, I don't know how to visualize the thing that I'm doing. It's gonna be a bad video. It's not gonna work. But when I just know what the
100%.
thumbnail is immediately, then it's like that's probably gonna be a good video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed in your analytics where you've had a video and what are the 3 stats that it shows on the first thing? Is it like click through rate, watch time, and then views? Is it? I think they're the 3.
Yeah.
But like sometimes I'll upload a video and then the click through rate will be higher than like ever before. The watch time will be sick, but then the views will be lower than ever. So I'm like, how does that make sense? So it's almost like people are clicking on the video, but then I don't know why the views would be so low if the click-through rate's up and the average watch time is up. but then the views are down. Do you know what I mean? Have you ever noticed that?
Yeah, I have. I think it's the topic, because that means that it has low impressions. So it's like YouTube is not showing it to as many people. So maybe it's just showing it to like your core audience, and so they're clicking on it more. So from the outside, it's like, oh, that number is higher because more people are clicking on it, but less people are seeing it. So it's really not higher. It's just, less people are seeing it, and it's more targeted. So I feel like YouTube. I feel like it's gotten a lot more complex. Like it used to be like, oh, if I have eye watch time, it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Now it's like YouTube. I heard an interview with like some guy at YouTube, and he was talking about they measure, like they call it satisfaction meter, something like that.
Right.
Which is a calculate, like you don't know what it is, but it's based on like everything, like so many things, because they have so much data that you don't even see. In terms of like how people are behaving with the video and like everything. And so I feel like that's kind of the most important thing. At least that's what that guy was saying from YouTube. So it's like, yeah, the click through and stuff, those are still very important meters for you, because you can actually like affect those by changing a thumbnail or whatever. But there's a lot of stuff that you can't really affect that much, that depends on like the topic, the time, like just stuff that's like just a bunch of stuff that they put together like a score, and then they push the video or not. So yeah, it's not just about those numbers. I feel like those are just the only ones that you can actually do something about, but then there's a bunch of stuff that we don't know.
Yeah, of course. I guess the ultimate thing is like, are you making a video that people are clicking on and watching and enjoying? It's like it all kind of narrows down to that, doesn't it? Are they clicking on it, and then are they watching and enjoying the video? Yeah. Obviously, all the other analytics like go into that, but it seems like that's the ultimate thing that's going to make a good video.
Yeah, and also I feel like with views, it's also the sort of the roof of the topic. Like there's like a ceiling that you have. Like for example, if you add, I don't know, a genre to it, to the title or into the concept, you're already like lowering that ceiling, because now only people that know what that genre is or like it are going to be able to even watch it, because the other people are not even going to care. So it's like crafting the ideas so that they're sort of as broad as possible. Like if you have the word plugins, like instantly you just cut out like everyone, because it's just super producers that like know what plugins even are. So it's like and it's fine. It's just, those are like decisions. It's not like there's right or wrong, but it's like, I feel like it's important to like know. I think about that a lot. Like when I'm crafting the video, it's like, what are the elements that are like stopping this from being enjoyable for like my mom, that doesn't know anything about this. Like what are the wars that are stopping that? I don't know if that makes sense.
No, definitely.
No, definitely.
So how do you plan your videos? Do you start with titles in your head, or just concepts, and go out from there?
Yeah, I always start with title and maybe like an idea of the thumbnail. Even if it's not like final, but like just kind of placing the elements around. And then I write the intro. And that usually helps me basically kind of solid, like the rest of the video just kind of comes out after that, because it's because I already set it all up. So yeah, title, thumbnail, intro, and then the rest of it, which a lot of the times it's like even like unscripted. It depends on what the video is, but I don't really plan too much after the intro, depending on the video. But those, like the intro, I write it like word for word. It's like I spend so much time crafting the freaking intro, and the title and thumbnail. Yeah, I'm sure you guys do too, though, because like I see some of your intros and it's like I can tell you put some effort in. Like you thought about it for a while.
To be honest, I feel like intros are definitely quite important these days, because that's the first thing you're going to see in your analytics, right? Like how many people drop off after 15 seconds. So if you can keep that high as possible, then the views should, in theory, be a bit higher, because people are sticking to keep on watching, so keep on going. If you see like the bam, maybe 50 to 40% in the intro, then videos it doesn't have like a good shelf life.
It's like you have to open that loop, don't you? And then you want people to have that open loop in the head and make them think that they can't click off the video until they close that loop. Like maybe you've got a secret to share in the video, or you're going to be saying that something's going to be happening, or whatever it is, like however you do the intro, then it kind of opens that loop in the head, and it's like, right, well, I need to figure out what that secret is or what happens, and then later on in the video they close that loop. That's like the key, isn't it?
I don't know if you guys have been watching like Mr. Beast videos, because like I don't
Oh
particularly
yeah.
like enjoy them. Like in terms of like I wouldn't watch that, but like that last video he posted with like all the content creators, or the one like there's a couple he's been doing. They're 40 minutes long. I was like, I'm just gonna click on this just see what it is. I watched the whole 40 minutes. I wasn't even planning. Like he's so good at that.
Yeah.
Whether like the content, maybe you don't like it. Like I don't super enjoy it, but he's so good at like creating loops and then closing them, but keeping a bigger one, and then he
Yeah.
creates another little
And
loop.
loops
Like
inside
you
of
just
loops.
can't
Yeah.
stop, dude. You just can't stop watching it. It's
Yeah.
like I don't understand it.
Wow.
He's so good at that.
He's
Yeah, so
literally the best we've
the
had.
best.
It's like
Yeah,
when you listen to him in interviews, you see like how obsessed he is with YouTube. Like when you hear his story of like how much time he's actually put into it, and like he just lives and breathes YouTube. It's like nothing else in the world matters. It's just his whole mind just thinks in YouTube stats. It's crazy. It's interesting to
Yeah.
see.
yeah. The thing though is that I don't think everybody needs to do that. Like you were talking about earlier, like Jay with the you kind of focus on the tutorials because you want to know who your audience is, and you were talking about that, and it's
Yeah.
like you don't need to do that. Like you don't need to do the Mr. Beast thing because it doesn't make sense, because you don't need
Mhm.
more views. If anything, you want to get like better views, like more targeted, so it's even like a better audience. But
Yeah.
it's like I don't think that his advice is for everyone. It's just for people
course.
that are just trying to do like
As
10
many
million
views as
views a video,
possible.
like do like
Yeah.
huge videos. But otherwise, you don't. I don't know. It doesn't apply to everyone. His advice, I feel like people take it too seriously.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I agree. Definitely agree.
Yeah.
It
I
would
think
feel
so.
weird in a tutorial to be like, I don't know, to
Yeah.
What did he
Some
say?
like crazy cliffhanger at the beginning. Like, who's gonna survive this tutorial?
that's what I'm saying.
Will I survive making this drill beat? Wait till the end to find out.
Yo guys, we're here in FL Studio.
Yeah.
Feel like LB's first video.
Oh, bro, don't.
Oh man.
I tried it. Yeah, too. I was the first to try Mr. Beast style in a in an FL Studio tutorial.
How did it go?
First and last. Not well. Not well. Yeah.
So Ed, between your YouTube and actual music production, do you still prioritize it? Do you still set time aside to do music and make beats and just do it
Yeah.
for fun?
Yeah, kind of. That's the fun time. Like some days I just come to the studio, make music, literally. Especially because I stopped like focusing on a genre or like a style or a type. I'm never gonna do anything with them. There's no point. It's literally just what I used to do when I was 16, just making music because that's all I wanted to do. And it keeps me like I don't know, keeps me excited and stuff. But I like on purpose. I was like. Because when you're like, you started like a career doing this and everything you do, even if it's for fun, you're like, wait, how can maybe I should post this, like, maybe I should do something around this. And like
Yeah.
on purpose, I was like, no, like this music is just going to sit on my hard drive and no one's ever going to see it. And I'm cool with that. It's like, this is my fun project. I don't want to share it. It's almost like when you don't want to share a part of your life. That's like, I don't want to share that. That's the sort of free music making that I do. It's like it became that, and most of it is trash anyway. But either way, I'm not thinking about it like that. Like I have to finish it. I have to like post it. I don't want to do anything with it. I just want it to sit
Yeah.
there. It's just for me to like, it's just a game. It's like a video game. It's just fun.
Yeah.
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 Do you guys do that too, or not really?
Try
Honestly,
to. Yeah.
no.
No.
These
What?
days, because I have like a goal with my music.
Mm.
But let me caveat, I don't make music with the end goal in mind. I make my music and then I think about what I'm gonna do after with it. But I'm not sitting down and creating and thinking, okay, today I need to make an electronic song that sounds like this song. And then I want to get it signed to this label. I'm not thinking like that because I feel like it kind of corrupts and just fucks up my whole workflow. I'd rather just let me sit down 4 hours, create whatever happens. I don't even have pressure. Sometimes I don't finish tracks. I might sit there for 4 hours, start 10 ideas, and all of them are shit. And it kind of just is what it is. But I like to just have my time, create, and then afterwards I'll think about, okay, this kind of sounds like it could fit here or fit here. That kind of vibe.
Is that like one of your goals? Because I've seen you like starting to like release music and stuff. Is that like, are you investing in that, or is it just kind of something that you're doing
Yeah.
for fun because you want to do it?
No, I think that's the direction that I'm heading in, rather than chasing placements and stuff like that. I want to release my music, but more in the electronic world.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of similar in the sense that like I start creating and then figure out what to do with it after. Usually, like if I've got a day where I'm making music, I'll just start the day by listening to some music, or maybe I've had like an album on recently that I really liked, and then you're just in the mood to make something similar. So it's whatever's inspired me recently, and then I'll start making stuff like that. But then there's other times where I don't know, I might be just chatting to an artist and they've asked for beats or whatever, and then I'll start making stuff that's specific for that. Or I want to, because I still have my type beat channel, I'll like make stuff just to upload to that channel as well. But yeah, I don't think I think whenever I make music, I usually end up exporting the beat and trying to do something with it, like whether I put it on the YouTube channel or I don't know. It's rare that I just make stuff and it doesn't go anywhere. I always like to find a purpose for something. But I could see where that would be a fun thing to do, because it's like your mind's so focused on YouTube and now the other business and being a parent and everything like that. So then that one bit of like fun time is just like, right, let me just vibe out. Let me make some music. I don't even have to think too deep about it, which is kind of cool, really.
Yeah, it's fun, and also it's not like 90% of the time it's not a trap beat. So it's like not something that I could sell. It's like it ends up being like progressive rock. It's like it's a random shit that it's like,
Yeah.
what? How does this fit into what I do? Like even if I
Yeah.
wanted to fit it in, it's like, you know, yeah.
What about
It keeps
releasing
me-
it just as your own music?
I
Like,
thought about
without
it.
being type beats or anything, just your
Yeah.
music.
I thought about it. It's just, I mean, I could do it if I did it for fun. Then who cares? I can do whatever. But
Yeah.
if I actually wanted to like invest a little bit in it, then I feel like I do feel like you still have to like develop your sound. So it's like Ed Talenti needs to have a sound. Like we all need to have like our sound if you start posting stuff. And so if I'm all over, if you want it to grow, if you don't want it to grow, again, you can do whatever. But if you want it to grow at all, I feel like you do need to have a style. And so if literally I'm posting like a metal song and then the next day it's like a trap beat and then the next day it's like fucking some completely different thing, it's like a jazz quartet. It's not how people that like one song are gonna hate the other unless they're like
yeah.
I'm sure there's a little subset of people that just listen to it because I made it and they just, you know, they follow me from YouTube and stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like it's a small subset, and it's also like, I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know. But yeah, I see your point. I just feel like in order to, if you want to post it, you kind of have to like settle on a sound and really develop it and like really make it your sound, you know?
That's interesting because
for
we spoke
sure.
about this a few times, haven't we? Where we always ask people if you think it's important to have a sound. Because like I make a few different genres, like LB, you make a few different genres, and obviously Ocean, you mostly make like house now, don't you? But still, you'll make like drill and trap sometimes, I guess, or you used to at least. So we always say like, is it important to have a signature sound, or does it matter? Like, can you just be the versatile guy that can make anything? Like,
I,
I always
more
wonder how
think about
important
it,
that sound is.
the more I think about it, I do think sound is actually really, really important in terms of branding anyway. If you want to, people have to kind of associate you with something. When you think of Tyler, the creator, you think of the certain world that he's created. And then if you think about Don Toliver, you think about his certain world. And you kind of just
Yeah.
have to start from the sound, from something. But it doesn't mean you have to stay in that sound. You can
Yeah.
evolve
Yeah,
and
for
keep
sure.
going. Like, when you think of Michael Jackson, Thriller album is very different to the History album, or
Like
even
Drake too.
the Dangerous album. Like, it's just like different sounds as you evolve as an artist. But
Yeah.
I do think it is
Do you think like
important
as you're growing, you
for
need
branding,
that
for
staple
sure.
sound?
Yeah, early stages for sure.
Yeah, you need it for branding. You need people to attach to something, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like
think that makes
especially
sense.
if you're playing like the Spotify playlist, like if you're playing that game, then you do need a sound. I mean, like again, if you're Michael Jackson or Drake, you can pretty much do anything because, you know,
Yeah.
it's like the biggest artist in the world. But if you're like coming up, like I feel like it's just like YouTube. It's like the algorithms like repetitive things, like because they're predictable. It's like I know who I'm gonna recommend this to because they already listened to the one before, and it's the same as YouTube videos. It's like, to me, switching genres on, if you're playing the Spotify game of like getting playlisted and all that stuff, switching genres. It's like if right now you guys did like a cooking video and you're like actually cooking like food. It's like, YouTube just gets confused, and it's like, I don't know who to show this to because your usual audience has nothing to do with this. And I feel like
Yeah.
Spotify kind of works in like a similar way. So if you keep switching genres, they're like, I don't even know like who the, like, like the similar artists that you section that you have at the bottom. Like the more confused that is, the less the Spotify knows what you do. And so if you keep switching genres, they don't even know what you're doing, unless you're like huge. So it's like, I feel like it is important.
I think also it's a way to just to just stand out as well. It's a way to just cut through everything. And because as soon as, let's say you don't have a sound and you kind of sound like this and you sound like that and you sound like that, then where's like your special source? Where's your perspective on music? What are you even adding to it?
100%. Yeah.
It's just kind of what makes you special, what makes you unique in a way.
Yeah, I always
I
think
think that
of
makes sense.
I always think of like a really solid example would be like someone like DJ Mustard, who just came out with these like dead simple, catchy beats, like literally like two elements in the melody, and then just there's like that the chant they used to put in every single beat, and in every single beat he'd use the exact same sounds, but he did it for like a good year and a half, 2 years, and then he started to like branch out and do like some other stuff like the Roddy Ricch more melodic stuff. Still West Coasty, but not exactly the same. But in that initial, that initial run, it was just, if you think of DJ Mustard, you think of like, like the clicks, the chants, like you just think of that specific sound.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. And now he's got that track with Kendrick. That's going crazy.
Going
That's
crazy
like
right now.
it's like something we haven't seen for a while. Not like us. I don't know how many combined like streams and views that song's got, but those numbers are insane.
Crazy numbers, man.
It's funny that it's Kendrick's biggest song, and it was like part of like this whole like like this thing, but then it's like it's actually his biggest song ever. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
I
crazy.
mean, culturally, like everyone's just loving that song. I've seen you've seen the videos on socials, like people playing it at like kids parties, and all the kids know the words to the song, and they're all screaming out "A minor." How is this got popular with kids? It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, like, everywhere
Have
you
you
go,
seen-
like block parties, kids parties, like everyone just knows it.
Have you seen the
Yeah.
breakdowns as well? How people get so analytical about the music video and like the painting in the corner and the press up,
Oh yeah,
all these little micro things. It gets
yeah,
deep.
like the little Easter eggs.
It's a crazy song.
But like before that, I think like DJ Mustard was obviously still doing his thing, but you never really heard his name like this, did you? For a while, anyway.
Yeah, because he had that early run, like 2000 and like 13 through 2015, 16, something like that. And he was solid. He was big. Like he had some big songs, but then nothing like this one. He kind of just went away after that for a while. Did like smaller projects and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's quite
definitely.
hard to just stay relevant though, and especially like a time today, to stay relevant consistently. Sometimes you just have to just have your moment, have your cycle. Then naturally you go up, you come down for a little bit, and then just ride that wave until you can come back up again like this.
Yeah, 100%. I think he's just dropped another song, like a solo project recently. Like he actually rapped on his own his own beat.
Yeah, I heard that actually.
It's quite
I heard
good.
he was doing it. I haven't heard the song or the project.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah, maybe because music, like, cause sound changes so much over the years. It's like if you get known for one particular sound, like that sound's not going to be the sound for 10 years, is it? It might be like the sound for a couple of years, and then music evolves. So then at that point, it's kind of hard to shift with it and be like, well, that was the sound of 2000, but it's not the sound of 2003. The same with like right now.
Yeah.
So
true.
I guess it could be really tricky unless you're evolving like as a producer. But then, yeah, I think that was the tricky thing about just having like such a distinctive sound. Like, okay, it might be popular for a bit, but then what if that sound changes? Then where does that leave you then?
Yeah, exactly.
I
Actually,
think
Ed,
about
I
that
was
a
going to
lot,
ask.
like when to stick and twist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to ask Ed, because we always talk about this. Because if you think back like 5 years ago, the whole like YouTube landscape was totally different. Like, did you ever find like have parts where like you do go like you do dip down in the wave, and then you're in like the trenches again, like fuck, like nothing's working, like I need to adapt. And do you know what I mean? Have you ever had that part as well, where like one part like you can't miss, and then the next part it's just down.
It's constantly like that. Yeah, the whole time
Yeah.
it's like that. Yeah. It's like you have 6 months period where it's like I noticed that it's like for me it's like 6 months and 6 months. 6 months where it's like, oh my god, everything's blowing up. It's like 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, bigger and bigger and bigger, so many subscribers. And then 6 months of like everything is a 9, a 10, a 6 is good, and it's like then you start like really that's when you like question your own, like it's like, should I still be doing am I do I need to stop? Is this the end? Is this the beginning of the end? Over time I went through enough cycles that now I'm like, okay, it's fine.
It's
You
all
know,
right. Yeah.
give it a few months and keep coming up with ideas, and eventually it'll pick back up. The only thing that I still struggle with is I don't think I found a direct correlation with like looking back at the phases. I can't look at it and be like, oh yeah, those videos were bad. Like I see why that phase was like that. Like sometimes it's just like, I don't know, they seem kind of the same type of level that they are now, but now they're doing well, and they weren't. I just don't really see. But I feel like that's also like, I don't know, it's just like seasons. I feel like that's how it is.
I was going to ask if you notice it's time of the year, like winter, for example, are more people locked in and just watching YouTube, and then summer people
Maybe
are
a
out and
little
about.
bit. Maybe a little bit. I feel like summer is a little bit tougher. I feel like there's like a little bit less views because people are just kind of living their life outside of the house. But I also feel like all of us kind of came up during like COVID times, right?
We
I
all
was just
just
thinking of
experienced the
lockdown.
bubble.
I was like, man, we need another lockdown. Well,
Yeah.
we don't. But we kind of do for the channel.
I feel like
That's when everyone's channel was booming.
we started out really spoiled. It's like, oh man,
Yeah.
this is not easy. It wasn't easy at all. But it's like, oh, this is like, shit. Like this is gonna keep growing. It's like crypto people, right? That like they had a
It's
moment
like
where
a gold rush.
anything they invested in was just going crazy. So it's like, oh, I'm so good at this. I'm great. But really, it was because the market was like amazing for it. And so I feel like this is kind of similar. Like we came up at a time where it built up almost like wrong expectations. Like that's not the norm. Like
Yeah.
that was weird. And so it's taken years to like be like, no, wait, this is where the level, like the normal level is at. That was weird. It's just, that was the first thing we knew. And so it felt normal. But I feel like, all the biggest like products and like everything that you've seen in the producer community happened back then, but that was because it was a weird time. But this is more of the normal cycle where you have like a few months of this, a few months of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what's the like why is that cycle, especially individual, because like my bad cycle could like you guys are doing great. It's not like it's like it's not like all producers are doing bad. It's like we're all different, and so I don't really understand how it's connected. But
I always think like
I
some parts of the year, just people just like seeing Talenti. Some parts of the year, some people like seeing J Cactus.
It's
I'm just
weird.
like, fuck, yeah, like so, it's like, god damn it, like everyone needs to like see my stuff all year round. God damn it. It could just come down to that
Weird.
sometimes as well. Like, yeah, who knows?
Maybe, because even as producers, I don't know about you guys, but we definitely spoke about it before, where you kind of go through cycles as a producer where maybe for like a few months you're in like your trap phase where you're making loads of trap beats, and then next thing you know you're making experimental stuff, and then you're making drill, and maybe it's like different cycles for producers where, if you're in your melodic trap phase, and go to LOB's channel. If you're interested in just getting creative and challenging yourself, then you're gonna watch Ed's channel. Then if you want house and oceans, you know what I mean? Maybe people are just going through phases in their head like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to correlate to what content you want to like take in. So and that's probably a good point on what Ed said earlier, like in making more like stuff that's more, it's going to hit a more of a general producer community instead of just one niche, because then those cycles might not be as drastic. Maybe it might kind of level itself out a little bit.
Potentially.
But then at the same time,
I didn't even think of it like that, but I guess that is a good point.
Yeah. But then I guess it is, like you said earlier, like at the same time, then you kind of drowning out your target audience. You know, you're not specifically hitting who you want to hit. So yeah, I guess it's just got to pick your poison.
Where do you see YouTube going in the next 5 years, Ed? In
It's just
terms
gonna
of content.
it's gonna keep getting bigger and bigger. Videos are gonna get longer and longer because people are shifting to like TV. I don't know if you guys know that, like saw it there in your
Yeah.
analytics, but like the TV numbers are going crazy up. So it's
Hmm.
like, yeah, I feel like the content is gonna get, it's just gonna get divided. I think it's gonna get way more divided. Like if you look at YouTube 15 years ago, like when it started, or like when it was starting to like pick up, you had every big creator was the same. It was, they were doing different things, but it was all like about them. It was like their life, and then maybe they play games, or their life, and they may do like comedy.
Yeah.
But it was very like focused on the person. I feel like what's gonna happen is that because it's getting bigger and it's opening up to new countries and stuff like that, I feel like it's just gonna keep getting more subdivided. Like there's gonna be the people like the Sideman, the Mr. Beast, like the big groups that have like 1 million employees and they built a whole fucking world around it and make millions of
Mhm.
dollars. There's gonna be the creators that are like Emma Chamberlain, like that is just about them and they just do things and people watch them for them, and it's just like it's the personal like brand. There's gonna be people. It's just gonna get. I think we're all gonna like coexist in the space because the space is just getting bigger. It's just gonna be like you're just gonna have more choice. So there's not gonna be one way to run a YouTube business, but there's gonna be 1 million different ways, and they're all gonna work just fine. Um,
Yeah.
I think that's what we're gonna see. So I feel like there's gonna be less trends. So it's like in the past it used to be like, oh, this guy's doing this thing and he's blowing up, let's all do that, and we
Mm.
all like do that, and then we all shift to a different direction. I think it's gonna be less of that, and it's gonna be you do your own thing, and yeah, and then it works for, you know, if you do it for long enough and you do it well and creatively and all that. So it's gonna be less like all of YouTube, let's all shift in one direction and then go back. It's gonna be less of that, I think.
So do you think, because saying like people watching on TV, do you think it's going to be less like fast paced and entertained? Do you think we could like bring the pace down over the years because people are watching on TV and it can be more like, I don't know, a bit more relaxing than just like super fast paced like Mr. Beast style stuff?
Yeah, even Mr. Beast slowed down a lot.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He keeps like I mean, the videos are so long, 40 minutes. You can't, if you have to do 40 minutes of like just constantly going, it's
Yeah.
gonna be like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Fry your
he
brain a
he
bit.
does the beginning like that, but then he kind of gets like slows it down, maybe like gets into the story of one of the characters in the game or whatever it is, and really like takes his time with that. So I do feel like we'll be able to slow down, but it's a really fine line between slowing down and making it boring.
Yeah.
It's really an art to like slow down without just making a boring video that's just slow. Because at the end of the day, you gotta still keep the emotion up, but the video slowed down, which is, you know, people that can do it are that are good at it. Like the emotion doesn't go down; it's just the pacing goes down, but the emotion is still high, whatever emotion
Yeah.
that is that you're going through. So it's really, I think that a really important skill that's going to get more and more important is going to be storytelling. Like really like being like script writers, like writing, knowing how to build a story and make a little movie, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That, like, you know, it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Even when it's slow, or even when it's like sad, or like, I don't know, it just changes the mood. It doesn't get boring. It doesn't just slow down
Yeah.
for the sake of slowing down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just all like, everyone's just gonna get better at writing stories. Like I think that's gonna be really what YouTube is gonna just, and the story can be completely different, and it can be just like movies, you know,
Yeah.
different styles, different genres, different types. But at the end of the day, you know, it's all about writing. It's all about like planning a story and executing it. I feel
I
like,
think that makes sense.
yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What do you watch outside of producer stuff? Like, what's your go-to content?
Ooh, I don't watch producer stuff that much, to be honest.
No?
No, I watch a lot of video game stuff, but not like gaming. More like I watch a lot of essays. Maybe it's because I'm old, but like I like documentaries and like, yeah, just like all the essay channels. Like fucking, can't think of a single one right now. But like,
Do
Yeah.
you follow a guy called Patrick CC? Because he used
Oh,
to
yeah,
be
of course.
yeah, his
Yeah,
are
yeah.
sick. Like, because he used
Yeah.
to produce as well, didn't he? And he did a complete UE.
Yeah.
So yeah, his stuff's
What
good.
does he make now? I haven't seen his channel in a while.
like
He
celebrity
Yeah,
documentary type
like
thing.
Oh,
the
okay.
fall of Bam Margera, or like
Right. Okay.
he did the Diddy files, like it's called the
Right.
P Diddy thing. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's more of like a documentary essay style video where it's just him narrating, and then it's just B-roll and pictures and clips and stuff.
Right. Yeah, he
Yeah,
used to make a lot of videos on like Spotify stats and stuff like that,
yeah,
you know, like
Right.
producer stuff, Spotify stuff.
yeah.
So I
He did
haven't
that
seen it
one. He
since
did
he
that one
shifted.
where he like posed as a label and was asking for like rappers' feature prices, and like just seeing how much people were charging for a verse on a song. That was quite a good one.
Yeah.
But
I think I've seen clips of that one on TikTok. I never watched the full thing though.
yeah, yeah, it's a few years ago now, but yeah, he's totally switched up his style. But yeah, I'm the same as you, Ed. Like I don't really watch producer content, but those essay ones, they just have you just sat watching it for the entire like half an hour or
Because
however long it
they're
is.
really good at storytelling, and they've just got it down to a formula to where it just can be. You just switch the topic, but it's the same kind of storytelling formula. It's kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to say it's easy because it's not easy, but it's just repeatable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They just found the
yeah,
formula.
Which sounds kind of like a dream from like a business standpoint, because then you can like
100%.
hire a writer that knows how to do it. It's like you can really automate the whole thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
And you could just the logistics of it is easy. You can just
Yeah.
sit there and get it done. You don't have to be outside. You don't have to rely on like any outside. You don't really have to really rely on like anything else apart from your team, I
Yeah.
guess.
What's this specific channel you're talking about though?
Something like a Patrick CC.
Oh, you just mean something along those lines.
yeah. There's quite a few channels out there that follow a similar kind of format. It's a lot of
Yeah.
like a lot of the way they come across is it just keeps you watching. Like they'll go start the main topic of the video, and then throughout it they'll be like, and then he did something that will blow your mind, or like, and then he did something that people would never saw.
Oh,
And
okay.
so it's all these little like cliffhangers, and then he resolves it, and then the next one opens. It's like almost like the Mr. Beast opening like loops and loops. It's kind of that
Yeah.
kind of format. But it does, man.
I'm
It
trying to
just
find
it
some
keeps you
channels to
watching.
yeah.
My only thing with those type of videos is a lot of it. I don't think I've clicked on a lot of them because a lot of it seems very negative. It'll be like
Oh yeah, for
the
sure.
fall of so and so or the
Yeah.
disastrous downturn of so and so, and it's just like maybe they haven't even fallen off. It's just like one mistake that they've made, but because everyone's making content on like the fall off of someone, it almost makes it seem like they have fallen off when they're probably doing all right. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
I think that's
tend
like
to
a
watch more
packaging
like
thing.
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
I usually don't watch the sort of celebrity ones that much. I watch like more like history of like or like
Yeah.
news or like, which sometimes can still be kind of like that. But I don't really watch the celebrity ones that much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
there's a
watched
Definitely
channel
with you on
called
like the
Moon.
documentary
That's
stuff
cool.
though.
Yeah,
I go through phases of I don't know, maybe one day I'm just on like I'm trying to find out about ancient Egypt and I'm just going down a rabbit hole.
hell yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
the Roman Empire. That's it.
Yeah. When I geeked out the other day, I watched like like an essay one on Halo. There was like it was like
yeah?
the last day the day the servers closed on Halo 3 or something like that, and like how long they all stayed in the on like the last ever online game of Halo. It's like half an hour long. I watched the whole thing just on one game.
Did you guys
Crazy.
ever have like a game that sucked up like 2 years of your life type thing, or not really?
When I was younger, maybe.
Yeah.
Metal
Yeah.
Gear Solid was my thing.
Oh man, that was a
Nice.
great game. A great game.
I loved the storytelling in that.
Mm.
Yeah. Which one was your was like the one that really you played a lot? You remember?
What was it called now? Let me try and find the name. I remember being a kid and playing one. And this was like the early days of YouTube as well. Because I don't know if you guys have played Metal Gear Solid, but if you completed like the whole game in like a certain time, for example, and it would take a long time to like complete a whole game, you'd get certain stuff for like the next time you play it. Like you'd get like the ability to go invisible, for example. So I remember buying the game and I was like, oh, I really wanted to complete it the first time in like a good time. And like, yeah, early days of YouTube, I remember finding this one guy on YouTube who'd made like a full tutorial on like how to complete the game in like a fast time. So I remember like playing the game whilst watching the YouTube tutorial because he's showing you like how to get around things quick. And then that must have been like a summer holiday at school or something. So I remember that consuming like loads of the holiday, just playing this one game, just trying to get through this story. And that, now I think about that guy on YouTube, like that was like early days of YouTube where not a lot of people were uploading, but this guy just had like a full tutorial on how to complete a game in like a super fast way. So it's kind of crazy to think about. I'll try and find which one it was though. A Call of Duty as well. I'd say like FIFA and Call of Duty when I got a bit older, they were like the things I'd play more than anything. But then when I was younger, maybe it was like Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
I think maybe I used to bang Spider-Man 2 on PS2. That was like the first.
Oh, that's
first,
a good one.
Yeah,
That was fire actually.
that was so sick. It's like the first open world one where you could just like web swing freely and do all that kind of stuff. So I was like,
So
Oh
fun.
yeah,
yeah, just on it constantly.
Yeah.
So
that
yeah,
was sick.
what about you, Ed?
I had my World of Warcraft phase.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
high
yeah.
school, I a good couple of years there. I didn't really do much else.
I know a lot of people who lost a lot of time to that game.
Yeah.
I've
That
never
A
tried
couple
it.
of like, you know, like 45-day game time and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever play RuneScape as well before that?
Yeah, a little
Oh, that
bit.
was
Yeah.
way back
Yeah.
in the day. Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
way back in the day, yeah. That was a great game. I think that's still going. Pretty sure that's still
Yeah, I
going.
think so.
GTA, of course, man. That's always
GTA,
been
yeah.
one of the favorites.
Yeah.
It's the
I haven't
classic.
actually played a console in a long time. Like I've got a
Same,
Xbox
bro.
One, I think, sitting somewhere, but it's not connected. But I think when the new GTA comes out next year or whenever it is, I think
have
I'm
to
just
do
gonna
it.
buy a console just to play that.
Yeah. Yeah, you have
I
to.
still play a ton of games. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, even now that I have a kid, I still find time to play games. I still play.
Yeah.
I have every console imaginable. I have every single one.
What's
Wow.
your go-to now?
I play a lot of the Steam Deck, the little portable one.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Because it's just
Yeah.
it just fits my lifestyle better. It just I can pick it up, play for like 20 minutes, put it down.
Yeah.
And it runs basically everything. So like I'm replaying right now. I'm replaying Mass Effect, the trilogy. I don't know if you guys.
Oh,
have
that's a
played
great
that.
game. Yeah, I used to play that as well.
And
Yeah.
I replayed the Arkham Knight trilogy. I'm replaying some stuff.
Nice. I'm currently replaying the Halo the like 1 through 3. Where
Nice.
just finished the first one. Me and my boy were like doing the co-op campaign. He lives in Vietnam, so we're just playing it, like online.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's good fun. Got to geek out
It's
every
just
now
a
and then.
random thought, but I wonder if our communities would be even the slightest bit interested in watching us four like playing
Just
online
gaming.
games.
Honestly,
yeah.
Like
That could be
producer
a thing.
gaming.
Yeah. It could be
Mario
a thing.
Kart
Not cooking
tournaments,
up.
like things like that. That would
Yeah.
be crazy.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
I think they would because it's the same people. It's like it's there's an
There must be a
overlap
lot
there.
of crossover. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Mm.
Beat
Yeah.
making, like you said, beat making is pretty much gaming in a way. It's very
Yeah.
much
These days,
the-
especially.
is the idea of just beat making itself is just very introverted. Just you stuck at your laptop,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which is essentially gaming.
And how
Yeah, I
many
think
times do
they're
you
right.
see? How many times do you see producers in the studio, and there's always like 2K on, or there's like FIFA on, or they're playing like some kind of game like on the
All
side
the time.
all the time. Yeah. So that
What's
could be a
your
thing.
go-to, Ocean?
Oh man, in terms of like losing life to a game, it was only like FIFA 04. I remember FIFA 06.
That was great. 06
Yeah.
was sick. Yeah.
Maybe like FIFA 09. And I remember those ones specifically because like I remember the soundtrack to it. So
Hmm.
because back in those days in FIFA 06, right, you would just hear whatever was in the game.
Yeah.
You couldn't like add your own music or anything like that. So I remember like to this day I can remember like every single word of every single track of that game because I've
You
just
ever
played it
play,
too many times.
Did you ever play FIFA Street? The old one.
Yeah.
FIFA Street, yeah. I have bad experiences with that because I used to. This is why I actually don't play games anymore. Why I stopped playing video games maybe when I was like 14, 15 because I had really bad rage. I couldn't stand losing on FIFA or FIFA Street or anything like that.
Were you the
I
kid
couldn't-
smashing the pad?
Yeah,
Bro, I
punching the
smashed
pillow.
pads, I smashed games.
Yeah.
I've raged so badly. FIFA
I could
Street,
not see
especially
you
because it was.
raging.
Yeah,
at a
me
game.
neither. I was really
Yeah,
sad.
you're the last person I could think of that would be raging at a game.
Yeah, bro. I remember. I don't know if I explained this, but I remember one time here because I actually wasn't allowed to play. I was technically not allowed to play PlayStation during the week during the school night,
Hmm.
Mhm.
but it was in my room, so I could technically sneak it on and just be very quiet. I remember one time I was playing a game. It could have been FIFA Street or NBA Ballers or something like this. I just couldn't beat the game. It was just too hard. It was I'll get close and then they'll score and it'll be over. And I remember one time I was like a second away from winning, but I lost it and I just got my controller. And I went bam, bam. I was like, fuck. And then I just hear my dad from downstairs like, oh, hey, what's going on? And he ran upstairs and I just like quickly turned everything off. And I couldn't save the games that everything's lost. And I'm just like pretending to be asleep, but secretly crying my eyes out.
That is
Oh, man,
hilarious.
you would have hated it at our old house. So when I used to live with my boys, like anytime we played FIFA, there was always money on the line, and there was always a punishment if you lost. So, for example, if we'd play like a few rounds and whoever came bottom, we'd always have a BB gun in the house. So whoever lost would get a shot in the ass from every other player.
Damn,
And then we
bro.
had, you know, those fly swatters, those electric ones that would like zap the flies.
Yeah.
You'd get a zap with that. And then
shit.
you had to. I can't even believe we'd like
That's
agree to it
brutal.
as a group, but
That is
you also
brutal,
had to stand in the corner of the room and just look at the wall for 5 minutes. So whoever lost the FIFA round, you'd just be like behind the TV, just like looking at the wall for 5 minutes, and everyone
That
just
is
stuck to
funny.
it because it was like it's funny when it happens to someone else. But
Oh man.
You know what? You know what's the worst as well? Just the sheer embarrassment sometimes of just losing. Because we used to be
yeah,
very, very competitive playing FIFA with my friends. Like trash talk to the moon. And I remember first one of my friends, he's probably the best FIFA player I've played because he just knew how to completely slow down the game and knew like every single control, every single skill.
Oh, that's so
I had a
annoying.
friend like that too, so long.
But he was also the best at mind games. So he'll play you, he'll gas you up. He'll be like, oh, I'm going to shoot. Oh, no, let me stop. See how you just flew past it, just like completely gas you.
Oh
I remember one
man.
time I was versing him and he would be like, I'll give you a moment. All right, let me score now. And he would just score. And there's nothing you can do about it. He was just that good. And just
Yeah.
the sheer embarrassment of being like, fuck this, man.
yeah, they're the worst.
Yeah, they're
Some people
Yeah.
are just naturally sick at it, weren't they?
Yeah.
Especially like with FIFA. It was like Tekken, like most people would just bash the
Oh,
buttons on
yeah.
Tekken, but then you
Right.
always had that guy that
Guy.
knew all the combinations where it's like
Yeah.
10 buttons in a row. I'm like, how are you remembering that?
Yeah, one combo, you're done.
Yeah.
All round. I remember Ocean had a little moment. When we went to that Cyprus trip, Ed, we had like this football, like what do you call it? The football game that we played. I can't remember the name of it now. But basically,
Oh, what, Wembley?
Wembley,
Like
yeah.
actual
So
football? Oh, yeah.
yeah, so we had a little goal set up. Chucky was in goal, and then it was just a free for all. Like if you score, you go through to the next round. And if you're the last person in, then you're out. And then you keep going and keep going. We only played one round because it went on for ages, but everyone kind of just snuck through on like these like sweaty goals, and then it just ended up being me and Ocean for like 10 minutes in like the boiling hot. And then I finally managed to like snatch a goal. And then when we went back to the villa, Ocean was like, I'm off. I need to go upstairs for like 10 minutes, just like cool down. I'm so pissed off.
You know what it was though? I feel like we was just trying so hard, bro. Like,
Yeah.
we wasn't quitting, and we was going at it. We was balling, bro.
We were at it for ages. And
And
like
then
fucking
Jack to just be like, kick it off you and just score with no
yeah,
effort.
literally
It's
Jack
like, you
just
know when you just try to,
Bogliners.
you're just trying
Yeah.
too hard. Yeah.
yeah. One
Got
of
to
those
see
days.
the rage. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see a preview, a little glimpse of the
Yeah.
rage, the ocean rage. Yeah, tsunami.
As I've got older, I've definitely learned to control it. But back when I was a kid, I couldn't, bro. I was just flipping out. And that's why I had to just stop with the video games.
Oh my god.
Till soon, anyway. We'll get him out again soon.
Yeah, maybe you have to bring your Xbox to the next link up. Bring it to Madrid. Yeah. Yeah. Should we wrap up?
Yeah, sure, man. I'm sure you got stuff to do today, Ed.
Yeah.
Just the usual. Yeah.
Yeah.
Being
But
a
no, we
dad.
appreciate your time, man.
Yeah,
No,
appreciate
life
it.
was
Thanks for
behind.
coming on.
Thank you guys for
Working
having
and
me.
running a separate business now. I'm being a parent, so yeah, appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Anytime.
For sure.
It's fun.
All right, then, guys. Well, yeah, appreciate everyone for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Much
Peace.
love.